Back to Lunchtime Live. Kaveh Solhekol has joined me on set, just getting mic'd up because this is breaking news. Nottingham Forest have lost their appeal against a 4-point deduction by the Premier League for breaching profit and sustainability rules. An appeal board has upheld the original decision by an independent commission to deduct the 4 points. It means that Forest remain just outside the relegation zone. They're 3 points above Luton. Chief reporter Kaveh Solhekol, what have the Premier League had to say then?
Well, I think the Premier League, first of all, will be delighted that this issue has been dealt with before the final game of the season, because what everybody was worried about was that these PSR cases involving Everton and Nottingham Forest would be not resolved by the final day of the season, and we wouldn't know on the last day of the season what clubs were playing for, who was going to stay up, who was going to go down. But that has all been settled now because these cases and appeals have been dealt with. Now, as far as the Forest case is concerned, I think what they were basing their appeal on was this whole issue of Brennan Johnson. We've heard so much about it. If you go back to the summer of 2023, basically Nottingham Forest were saying that they could have sold Brennan Johnson to Brentford for £35 million and banked that money in their accounts, and they would have been clear. They wouldn't have been in breach of the PSR rules. But they actually waited until the 1st of September and sold him to Spurs for £47.5 million, much more money. They felt that was the right thing to do, but by doing that, they couldn't bank that money in the PSR accounts for that period because the accounting period ends at the end of June. So that was one of the things they were arguing. And also they were arguing that elements of the punishment should have been suspended. So they shouldn't have just been hit with a 4-point deduction. Some of those 4 points should have been suspended. But as it is, the Appeal Commission decided no, not to accept any of Nottingham Forest's arguments about why the 4-point deduction should be reduced, and they have decided that it should remain in place.
And of course, when it happened, Nottingham Forest were in the relegation zone. They're now 3 points above the bottom three, but I guess there is a big difference at this stage of the season, 3 points and 4 points above the bottom three. So what will Forest's reaction be, do you think?
Well, I think Forest are very disappointed. They've been angry about the way this whole issue has been dealt with. I think they feel that, for 2 of the 3 seasons in this accounting period, they're actually in the Championship. And they came up through the playoffs. And when they came up, a lot of the players in their squad were players who were on loan, who were leaving. So they had very little time to build a new squad that was competitive enough to keep them in the Premier League. That is why they signed something like 22 players that summer. And that is why I think they would say that, OK, they may have spent a little bit more than they should have spent. But they want to remain a Premier League club. It took them a long time to get back into the Premier League. They wanted to make sure that they stayed there, which is why they spent the money that they spent. But where it leaves us now, of course, is that Luton have got 2 games left until the end of the season. Forest have got 2 games left. Everybody knows where they stand. Everybody knows what they have to do. And at the moment, Forest have that 3-point gap. And they also have a better goal difference than Luton, which could turn out to be crucial.
Kaveh, does today's news affect Everton's appeal against their 2-point deduction? Is there any impact on that?
I don't think there is any impact because the appeals are heard by different commissions. These commissions are made up of 3 people and they are different people. So I don't think it will have any effect. But I think whatever happens going forward, Everton and Nottingham Forest and their supporters will feel incredibly hard done by because these rules are so controversial. And of course, the rules are on the way out because they're going to be replaced from the start of not next season, the following season, by new squad cost control rules, which are going to replace these rules anyway. So I think Everton and Forest fans will feel, one, we should never have been deducted these points. This has overshadowed the whole season. It's brought into question the integrity of the Premier League, and also why are we being punished under these rules, which everybody accepts are not fit for purpose, and that's why they're being replaced with new rules.